Good morning, wrestling fans. Welcome to PWR today. It's Monday morning. It's February 29th. Ha! Just kidding. It's not 2020. It's 2021. It's the first of the year. It's March 1st, 2021. I'm the man they call Meathead, and that was planned. I hope you know, Linda. That was planned. I was like, let's see if we can get him to, is it February? Is it March? No, it is March 1st, 2021. Linda Kay, good morning. How you doing?
Good morning, Meathead. I'm doing well, but you had me think there for a minute. Like, wait, is it a leap year?
No. Did you know that leap years run on the same years as the presidential elections?
Yes, I remember you mentioning that with Matthew. And prior to the Olympics.
Yeah, Olympics summer. We're always on that cycle as well.
Yeah, but no, I'm doing great. We just had a huge GLCW show this past weekend, Freakzilla, with our guest of honor, Big Papa Pump, Scott Steiner. So I'm still riding that high of
still kind of buzzing on it, huh?
I'm sorry?
Still kind of buzzing off of that one, yeah.
Yeah. We had a hot crowd in Cedarburg at our venue, Circle B. The crowd loved Scott Steiner. I got to introduce him before he spoke to our crowd, and it was great. It was really great. Great show. Our talent's tremendous.
So I'm wondering, did the crowd holler if they heard him?
They sure did.
Okay, because Big Papa Pump is the hookup.
Mm-hmm. Holla if you hear him.
I hope he dropped that line in there.
Oh, absolutely. You know what? I will say, you'll like this, Meathead. When he first came out, he was getting the crowd a little pumped. Asking, here are Bucks fans, Brewers fans, Packer fans. How about that? Yeah.
So. Okay. Well, yeah, that sounds good. I'm happy to hear that Big Papa is feeling well, looking good, out making appearances. And here's the thing that I hold near and dear, and I really respect more than anything else. This was a show that I think Dave was supposed to have last year.
Yeah.
And it was something that was canceled. And I assume the conversation went to Dave, to Scott, hey, when we're running shows again, you want to come back and work? And Scott said, yeah, let me know when you're ready. And that's probably what happened.
Yeah. Crowd loved him. He was great. Seeing him and Dave talking together, that was just great as well. And, again, just great to have a show back and safe at Circle B. And everybody was excited when it's been announced through GLCW's Facebook group and blizzardbrawl.com, but verbally announcing the next show this month, the end of this month, Friday, March 26th, we got Val Venus as the guest of honor this time, and he'll be facing OVW star Luscious Lawrence as well. So that should be a great one. But the crowd was happy to hear that show coming up, and a lot of people saying they'll be back for that one.
Gotcha. So when, because it's in Merrill, Wisconsin, right?
Well, the one on Friday, the 26th of this month, is going to be back at Circle B in Cedarburg. Okay. And then
the Friday one is Circle B.
Yeah, then the next night, GLCW will be in Merrill, Wisconsin, or anybody northern Wisconsin or wants to travel to Merrill. It's Merrillmania featuring Val Venus as well. So so it's Friday, March 26th, Cedarburg, Saturday, March 27th, Merrill, Wisconsin.
So when he shows up in Merrill, hello, Merrill
Streep? Oh, wrong
That's
one.
what I wonder, because that's where I was going with that.
Spelled a little different, but close enough.
Did he have a big love affair with Meryl Streep when it came out? And hello, Meryl. And then I forget the rest of Val Venus's lines, but I know it was hello, ladies. That's all I remember.
Yes, my favorite though was always his Titantron.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
The most famous line I have with Val Venus actually wasn't Val Venus's line. It was when Kai and Tai captured Val Venus, and they said, "Choppy, choppy, the pee-pee."
Pee-pee, yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, the good old days.
Well, at least he didn't get his pee-pee choppy.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, sounds like it was good stuff. I heard the Fanny Pack Kid was also in town on Saturday.
Yes. Cal Hero, our former senior intern, Cal Hero, came up from Louisville with two other OVW talents, Dustin Jackson, Drew Hernandez. So they had great matches as well. And our own Fanny Pack Kid actually was part of the main event against Chicago's own Ice Pick, Vic Capri.
Okay.
Great guy, veteran, and they had a great match. Great way to close out the show. And, our pal Cal got the crowd dancing and chatting.
Well, I know he had the fanny pack again on Saturday night, but I had asked Matthew, on Impact on Tuesday night, where was the fanny pack? Huh, kid?
Yeah.
I feel like that joke keeps seeming to fall on deaf ears. I don't even think Cal caught it right away.
Yeah. Well, he definitely had it and got the win, got the pin, got the crowd moving. So very
Pin
nice.
me, pay me. But he got the win, so he gets paid more.
Mm.
There you go. All right. Well, let's talk about Smackdown from Friday night as well. And you said you saw, yes?
Yes. It is that road to WrestleMania.
Yeah, and it's a long road that takes a lot of pit stops now. It's almost like, back in the day when we were on the road to WrestleMania, it was like the dad was driving and you didn't have to stop all the time because the kids had to use the bathroom, like you had just gotten married and, you're on your own trip. Now the road to WrestleMania is like you got, 5 and 6 year olds that have to stop to pee every 2 hours because there's always a detour somewhere on our road to WrestleMania.
Yes. We also have, as you mentioned, pit stop. I mean, literally, we have fast lane
right
in between. So, again, things progressing. Some of the matches that were announced for Mania, we already pretty much predicted and knew would happen, but there's that stuff in between and some of the new feuds that can come up to potentially get us another great match for the WrestleMania card.
Sure. Let's talk about SmackDown from Friday night. Now, Daniel Bryan challenged Roman Reigns to a match at Fastlane. However, Daniel Bryan was going to have his own little road that he traveled because it was not made official until Daniel Bryan won his match against Jey Uso. He was going to have a match later on in the night against Jey Uso. Now, we'll get to that part in a moment, but Daniel Bryan now knows his path to get to Fastlane and his path possibly to get to Roman Reigns.
Right. I loved how Daniel Bryan came out and during Roman's intro promo to SmackDown and basically called him a coward for just inserting himself into Elimination Chamber right after Daniel Bryan
said the boys are calling you a punk.
Tears, yeah. That didn't sit too well with him as Jey Uso whacked Daniel Bryan, and we got that lead up to the main event of SmackDown.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Otis and Chad, the Alpha Academy is what they're called, correct? Am I saying it right? The Alpha Academy?
Yeah.
Otis and Chad got to be full on heels now because they're now facing face teams, and they beat Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah, I mean, this stemmed from the week prior on SmackDown, and if they are going to be full-fledged heels, I want to see some more anger, a little bit more hastiness, if you will. It's getting there. It's kind of hard though when we're just used to Otis just being that fun-loving
guy,
Midwest, Wisconsin blue collar guy. Yeah, I mean, so with Chad Gable, he's been back and forth as far as heel and face over the years, so he can go either way. But he's got a lot of work to do with Otis to make him a solid heel. But what I want to see continues though, if they can still work the hips into being strong heels, I want to see that continue somehow.
Okay. There's another guy that kind of flipped. Apollo Crews, new ring gear, new attitude, and he is facing Shinsuke Nakamura, who I think just by default now is technically a face. Apollo Crews with a victory over Shinsuke Nakamura. Apollo Crews is the one who knocked out Big E last week.
Yeah, my Big E. I think this was great to see Apollo get more of a push here and just rework his character a little bit. We already saw this heel turn coming, this new attitude, but now he's just got a completely boosted personality, his in-ring promo, the scarf. You mentioned his grandfather, and this is good because it's just been so weird with Apollo the past year as well. It's like he's got that push, but then
what have we said about Apollo for a long time?
He's not smiling as much anymore. I will say that.
And That's exactly where I'm leading to. What have we been
Oh,
saying? It's time for him to knock off the smiling. Even if the dude grew a beard, he's still smiling. Even if he had a mask on, he'd probably have a mask with a smile on it. Knock it off. Get more serious. It's
yeah.
here. This is what we asked for.
Yeah, we saw that. And, considering what he did to Big E the week before, this is a good lead up. And I like the two of them in this rivalry, in this feud. Two great big men really go at it. And this has been just weeks in the making. So once Big E is healed and ready to go, you know, perhaps their match at Fastlane, perhaps it goes further down the line. I mean, it could be something, if this continues, it could be a big match at Mania, and, it could be for the title.
Could be. Tamina and Liv Morgan. Here's another superstar that has a little bit more aggression nowadays since she's been hanging around with the BOAT, the best of all time, Natalya. Tamina looking legitimate now.
Yeah. It's just all these years where she's just been like aligned with another star and just kind of been on the back burner. Like, I want to see where we know she can do a lot. She's been with the company for several years. I mean, I like this pairing with her and Natalya, not just because of their family lineage, but
I honestly think she was there before the women's revolution.
I think so too. Well, with both of them, I like how they are together. They have pretty much the same amount of years. I want to say similar, at least, of their time at WWE. They haven't, it's like they give Tamina this kind of push, and then they don't, and they just pair her with somebody else. It's great to see that aggression. They can totally use her more. We need some more of the ladies to stand up to the likes of Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler. Perhaps it could be going that way.
Could be. Hey, Bianca Bel-Air has finally made it official because the pyro went off. That made it official. Bianca Belair is challenging Sasha Banks at WrestleMania. So both Royal Rumble winners are on the, technically Edge is on the Raw side, but he's going for the SmackDown champion. But both Royal Rumble winners are on the SmackDown side.
Great. Right. And the lead up to her announcement, pretty stellar. We've got I believe that he's one of both of our favorites, the sommelier, Reginald.
Yes.
Making an appearance,
We had some points about Reginald. Yeah, bring those up. You were telling me off air here. Tell me your feelings on Reginald.
Well, I like him. He brings a lot to the show. His dynamic with the ladies, it's been hilarious. We've seen him display his in-ring talents as well, just facing the ladies in the intergender matches and whatnot. But I'm just so confused. If he's supposed to be Carmella's sommelier or just her ally, right, why is he out there defending Sasha or partnering?
I think the kids are saying that he's thirsty for her. Is thirsty the right term?
Yes. Hashtag thirsty.
Hashtag thirsty. Hashtag blue love.
Yeah. So, when he had that match tagging with Sasha and Bianca the week before or 2 weeks before, whatever it was, we later saw him with Carmella and Carmella getting upset with him, but it still really didn't explain much. And I don't get why she wasn't even more upset by that. And then this past week on SmackDown, she wasn't even there. No mention of her as well. Well, except for I think maybe Graves mentioned something about her, but besides that, or maybe he didn't.
Of course, Graves would be the one to mention it. Are they married or are they just together?
I think just together from what I last heard. But yeah. But you know what? Did they even mention Carmella now?
I don't think so.
That's so weird. That's why I'm just dumbfounded, because I love the addition of Reginald. This is great chemistry he has. I mean, he had great chemistry with Carmella. I mean, Carmella and Sasha had great chemistry, and bringing Bianca, they're all great. And there's something there, but and then we got the official announcement call-out challenge to have Sasha face Bianca and the fireworks and the pointing to the sign. So that is official. But where's Carmella? I'm so confused.
I thought Carmella was pushing for Bianca to go towards Asuka so that way Carmella could get Sasha for WrestleMania, but it's official. The pyro went off and they pointed at the sign. So, I mean, it's a done deal now. You said you enjoyed the segment between the Prophets and Corbin and Sami Zayn and the documentary crew on the outside of the
ring. Just the way they were all up in Corbin's grill and him be like, "Stop filming me." Yeah, it made me chuckle, and it was just
like Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson back in the day pushing cameramen out of the way.
Yeah, I guess. I'm trying to think of the comparison on how they're similar.
Just shoving cameras. That's all it was.
Gotcha.
It's like the paparazzi.
Okay, but yeah, it was pretty funny, and just Sammy still, just everything they throw at him, he just does so well, and this whole, his vision and everything, and the conspiracy, and just having the crew.
Yeah.
But I think it was either Michael Cole or Corey Graves mentioning that this is great footage for their documentary. So anywho, Street Profits getting that win over them, so they're back possibly in the title hunt. I would think so.
Yeah. Hey, let's talk about Cesaro and his dad pants and his dad jeans. Apparently his dad jeans will never stop him from getting the big swing going on Seth Rollins.
Yeah. Well, anytime they show up in jeans, they're ready for a fight.
Right.
And that swing on Rollins. First of all, I'm so happy that we still get Burn It Down. I know it's still a Messiah-esque character, even though now it's embraced the vision. But it made Cesaro come out, and Seth Rollins saying to him about he doesn't have that killer instinct that Seth Rollins could give him or something to that sort. But instead, we got the good old Cesaro swing in the jeans that went on.
Dad pants.
And on.
Hashtag dad pants.
The what?
Hashtag dad pants.
Oh, yeah. So, looks like we've got something brewing with the two of them, which we pretty much expected, but nice to see some progression with that.
And there is a chemistry still between him and Daniel Bryan, as the end of the swing, Cesaro coming up the ramp. Here comes Bryan, his music. I forgot to mention this on the Elimination Chamber post show that we did last week, Monday morning. Did you realize that there was a segment where 4 of the 5 competitors in there, before they let the final one come in, that they were all former ROH talents? And that's why I thought that's why they had such a great chemistry in the ring. If you think about it, Cesaro, Bryan, who else was in there? Owens, and there's one other person in there I'm failing to mention right now. But
Sami
Zayn, former Ring of Honor as well. So I thought that, when they say that these guys have known each other for a long time, there is a slew of Ring of Honor talent in the WWE locker room right now.
Yeah, and it's funny you mentioned that. I did see somebody tweet about mentioning that we've got like a Ring of Honor reunion or something like that during that match. But yeah, it's great all these years. I mean, even a lot of the guys in NXT, most of the now defunct Undisputed Era, I really got to learn about them and see them, and Kevin Owens for that matter, just through Ring of Honor live here in Milwaukee.
Yep.
It's great.
And, it's ironic, too, because if Rollins would have been put into that Elimination Chamber match, Tyler Black was, I thought, a former Ring of Honor heavyweight champion.
I think so.
I believe so. I mean, we're going back some years now, but Tyler Black. And again, Antonio Cesaro.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when Cesaro debuted in WWE? He had, who was he with? Was it Ursula? And they always brag that Antonio Cesaro could speak 5 languages, and he was a heel in all 5 of them.
Vaguely.
Then they called him the Swift Superman, the Swift Cyborg, and then they went on from there. But let's talk main event. Daniel Bryan versus Jey Uso ended in a double countout. So Daniel Bryan had to win this match to get the main event against Roman Reigns at Fastlane. He doesn't get it. However, it's a double countout due to interference, due to the big dog, and everything else that went on. I think they're still heading towards a Daniel Bryan Roman Reigns match at Fastlane. Something's got to come next week.
Right. I mean, he technically didn't win or lose that match. I mean, it was the double countout, so he can argue that he didn't lose the match. Technically. But I like what they have brewing there, and this would be a good buffer to get to Edge and Roman at Mania.
Or Daniel Bryan and Edge at WrestleMania. It's not going to happen, but that's the story we're going to be told.
Right. Just like how in that backstage interview, Daniel Bryan saying,
well, here's what he said, and you're leading right to it, so thank you. And I'm going to kind of quote it here. He goes, I'm going out to take what's mine, and that's the reign of the best damn wrestler in the world. Before CM Punk I was the best damn wrestler in the world. Mentioning CM Punk's name on TV, huh? On WWE TV, no less.
Yeah. Interesting.
You think there's anything to that?
I'd have to go back and watch how it was said. Was it sped through? Did it seem like...
No, it was very slow and very methodical, very calculating as he's pointing at Paul Heyman and saying it.
Well, when you lay it all out like that, sure sounds like there could be something there.
Well, if it's going to be something, it's not going to be WrestleMania. I think we're way too close to it for WrestleMania.
I don't know, though. If you think about not just last year, which, it was the COVID mania. I mean, I didn't mean like that. I meant, obviously,
I know
COVID affected that mania. But the year before, I remember weeks leading up, there's still some matches that weren't even set. I mean, like, very close to WrestleMania date. So it could be something. Well, maybe what I'm envisioning, if this, in fact, is a welcoming back of CM Punk, because I keep forgetting he had the backstage appearance, or when he was one of the hosts of WWE Backstage, the show,
right.
That was WWE. So if it
was Fox talking about a WWE product.
Okay. Well,
obviously, let's be clear. WWE could have said, no, don't you put that guy in to talk about our show. But they let it go.
Yeah. So if there is something more to this, I feel it could be something that would take place perhaps the Smackdown right after Fastlane, after Daniel Bryan does not beat Roman Reigns. It could be something, that would still give over a month to build something.
Okay. I guess, if he's training, we talked about Punk before, when he was doing his MMA training, he was training in, West Dallas and Wauwatosa and Waukesha and, all those different areas around the Milwaukee area. It could be down in Chicago training, could be down in Orlando or Tampa training right now. And we still haven't talked about it yet, but we keep bringing it up and we haven't heard any details. They got to get out of Tropicana. We just had the first spring training games yesterday. Tropicana is going to have baseball in a month.
Right. Well, there hasn't been the official announcement of tickets and fans in the stands. We keep hearing more stuff, but it hasn't been made official via WWE as well. So I just envision, this being March 1. To get some big announcements coming up this month.
That's 5 weeks till WrestleMania.
Yeah, and perhaps there will be a big press conference announcing fans and tickets, as well as how Raymond James Stadium will now be the home of WWE's Thunderdome. Perhaps. I'm just taking a wild guess out there.
I don't know. If they were to take Raymond James Stadium, that could get them going to possibly July.
Which would make sense.
Yeah. We need to hear something. Linda needs to hear something so she can get her plane tickets all set up, ready to go.
Yes, that too.
Well, I need to hear something because what about the post show? I need to know where my people are at so we can record the damn thing. That's what I need to know.
Yes, that's important as well. A lot of unanswered questions and little bit of time to get it all together, but it's on our minds. We got it. We can make this happen.
Okay. Speaking of making it happen, we made it official on the Twitter handle. Matthew Thomas has dropped the Usos due to injury of Jimmy Uso and has picked up Fight Bobby Lashley with a WWE Championship match tonight on Raw. Pick it, Linda. Who's winning the match? And is Bobby Lashley the new heavyweight champion?
I know the Miz just got the title and he's on Team Long Time, and I'm a fan of his, but gotta believe there's that buildup that should be between Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley. I mean, Drew's gonna be back on Raw tonight as well, so perhaps Bobby does get the belt. Out comes Drew. Or is it too soon to build this if it's going to be something at Mania?
I really would hate to see Bobby Lashley win the belt and then have it taken from him by Drew. That would crap on Bobby.
Yeah. So maybe not yet. I mean, this was a big deal, big build-up, months in the making of the Miz.
Do we make it a triple threat at WrestleMania?
Maybe. I mean, there's got to be something that's got to continue.
Does Bobby not go after Riddle again to get his U.S. belt back?
No.
Lots of stuff that has to be settled over on the Raw brand. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And we're going to hear from Drew McIntyre tonight. You know, we did not hear his name really mentioned even last week. So tonight on Raw, we're going to also hear from Drew McIntyre. I wonder what he's got to say. He's probably going to go after Miz and possibly Bobby. I mean, because Bobby attacked him, leaving him vulnerable for Miz. So I think it's a triple threat at WrestleMania now.
Or maybe a triple threat at Fastlane, and then it'll be like Bobby would win it at Fastlane, and then Drew and Bobby would be the build-up for Mania. But then where does that leave Miz? Because he's a big part of this scenario
in the
as
pre-show battle royal.
No.
In a pre-show battle royal, basically, in the Performance Center. It's insulting. I mean, he shouldn't be there. He's a main event player. But
it's just so hard to tell because of the time in between. And, you know, this is how a lot of us were for Elimination Chamber. There's so many different variables. We're not really sure which way it'll go. And then now we got Fastlane. Okay.
And, you know, when it comes to PWR draft, kind of like I led the segment with, you know, with Matthew Thomas having Bobby Lashley, you won't get points for the win tonight if Bobby does win the title, but you could get points for defense or for whatever. And we have a big AEW pay-per-view this coming Sunday as well. So AEW Revolution just around the corner. And, you know, I went ahead and dropped the Street Profits while they were injured and picked up Sting. But I'll be honest, again, I've said this over and over, not that I want them hurt seriously, but I'm hoping they get hurt after the pay-per-view because I may pick up the Street Profits again.
I was gonna say, I mean, they're back in action and looking great, so
we'll have to see. But we've got 3 pay-per-views left, and it's a tight one. 29.20 for Meathead, Drew Bay at 28.05, Dave Hero at 24.85, Team Matt Damien at 22.05 now that he's dropped, you know, and took the penalties, and then Linda Kay at 20.30. You still have a chance. I'm saying there's a chance to pass up Matthew Damien.
Matthew Damas.
Yeah, Matthew Damas. All right. Well, hey, that's a big one. You know, coming up tomorrow morning, we'll find out. Did Bobby Lashley defeat The Miz? Is Bobby Lashley the new champion on Raw?
Yeah. It's something exciting for Raw tonight as we are trying to get things figured out here.
Trying to get them figured out. All right.
Well,
for Linda Kay, I'm the man they call Meathead. Hey, thanks for stopping by.
Sponsors. I was trying to find a segue into that, but
That's okay. Come up with a segue. It's all right. The people love listening. It's okay. Keep going.
First of the month.
First of the month. Are we getting our checks?
Yeah.
Is that government cheese coming?
Is it? Yeah, and is it time to work on the escaping of the nether regions?
You want us to talk about manscaping?
Yeah,
we can talk about manscaping real quick. Hey, don't forget, boys, that you got to clean up your junk all winter long. You've let that fro grow. Get on over to manscaped.com and save yourself 20% on all the manscaping stuff. Keep yourself silky smooth with manscaped.com. PWR is the promo code, and of course, our friends at Collar and Elbow. Linda, in my shopping cart, I haven't pressed the buy button yet, but I have 2 brand new shirts that I'm probably getting from collarandelbowbrand.com. I use my promo code of PWR360 to save myself 10%. I think I'm going with the old Festus t-shirt, you know, with him just with that dumb look on his face.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm going to go get the old Good Brothers t-shirt as well.
Yeah. I like
All
it.
right.
Add to that collection.
That's right.
I use my code PWR360 as well. Save that money.
Money.
All
right. So for Linda Kay, I'm the man they call Meathead. Hey, thanks for stopping by. We'll talk to you tomorrow morning. So long, everyone.